Yeah, first thing first, if you've come across this video, I want you to please increase the video quality to 720p. Alright, this video is very clear. It's very clear. Just that you have to increase the video quality to 720p. Okay, so in order to do that, you know how to do that. You're going to see three vertically arranged dots at the top right corner of the screen. Is it right? I think top left corner of the screen. You click on it. Then it displays some stuff for you. Go to the video quality aspect. I think adjust screen quality or something. So click on it. From there you can click 720p. Alright. So if you click 720p or anything above that, you realize that this video is very clear. Alright. So that's it about that. Now this particular class is about game theory. So let's play games. Yeah. Let's play games. So this class has been coming, like has been coming for long. Alright, so I think the last time when I promised that I was going to do this class was I think 2 years ago, right? It is what it is, and you know it is what it is. So, but here we are today. So game theory. This shouldn't be your first class when you are watching game theory normally because this is one of the a little bit advanced aspect of game theory. So we've done the basic ones. I think we have like 2 videos of that talking about Principal's dilemma, what game theory is about, the types, quite a number of stuff like that, dominant strategy, dominant strategies, and Nash equilibrium, all of that. So we've done those primary things. Okay, so this is just like a little advanced aspect of game theory. There are still more things than this. So, game theory, the subtopic on that game theory today is iterated elimination of strictly dominated strategies. Iterated elimination of strictly dominated strategies. So, game theory on its own is just a study of how concerned parties respond to strategic situations or how they make strategic decisions. So, that's why strategic decisions. So, game theory basically is a study of how concerned parties, make strategic decisions or how they respond in strategic situations. Okay, so when I say strategic decisions, what do I mean? I mean decisions that you make, alright, while putting into consideration the decision that others as well are going to make. So not just others, but the decisions of very significant people or very significant parties. So the decisions they are going to make. Why? Because their decisions would have or can have a very significant effect or impact on the outcome of your own decision. So if I make a decision to go to school, for example, I may not be disturbing anybody, alright. But if let's say there are two firms in an industry and one decides to advertise, so the one that wants to advertise, okay, is also going to put into consideration how the other firm is going to respond to it advertising, because this firm knows that if it expands, if it advertises, rather it's trying to capture a larger market share, and capturing a larger market share is automatically reducing the market share of the other firm. Alright. So in this particular case, there's interdependence, okay, between the two firms because they are the only ones in the industry. So whatever one of the firms do is going to be of a big concern to the other firm as well. Alright. So in that particular situation, I would say that going advertising, alright, or spending on advertisement is a strategic decision, because as you are trying to do it, it's not only about your own personal cost and benefit as a firm. Okay, you also must put into consideration what your competitor is going to do. Is your competitor also going to advertise? Will you choose not to advertise? For how long will you choose not to advertise? That kind of a thing. Okay, so that's what game theory is all about. Now, under market structure is game theory really important? Okay, it's under oligopoly. Okay, so because oligopoly is a market structure where you have few large firms. It's not as if the firms are not going to do, right? But you just kind of have big boys in the firm, in the industry. It's not as if the industry does not have many firms sometimes. Okay, many is kind of relative too. It's just that you have big boys, major players in that industry, and they will not be more than 4. In fact, they will not be more than 3. So how do you identify them? These are firms that have significant market share in that industry. Okay, there are firms you don't even know that exist in that industry, and there are firms that you know. So they have big names, everybody knows them. So they could have like maybe 30% of the market share. One of them could have 30% of the market share. Imagine. So if one firm has 30% of the market share, then maybe 200 other firms should go and deal with the remaining 70%. So by the time you divide, even if you were to divide it equally, so how many percent is a firm going to get? So it's going to be less than 1%, right? Yeah, so that is what we are talking about. So, but here we are not saying that there's just one firm. So you have like maybe 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, because 2 you have, that's the duopoly. So 2, 3, 4, 5, a few of them, they are not many, so that's why I call it few, but they are large. Okay, few large firms. They are not the only one. They are likely not going to be the only one in the industry, but they are large. So whatever they do is of significant importance to other firms in that industry as well. Okay, so why is game theory not important? Or why do you not have to engage yourself in strategic decisions if you're a perfectly competitive firm? So there you have so many buyers and sellers, in fact, infinite in number, such that your own market share is not even significant. Alright, so what's your pricing decisions, your output decisions, not really significant. You are not really affecting anybody. So your price is determined, alright, your price is determined by the industry itself. So you can't even manipulate prices, to suit you or something like that. So you just have to engage in a kind of technology that is going to ensure that you produce at the industry price. So what are you going to do? So when you look at monopolistically competitive markets, they are also very many. Right? Although the product is slightly differentiated, right? But it's also many. Like you have a lot of firms there, so their market share too is not individually. You don't have significant market share. Okay, so what one is doing, what a monopolistic firm is doing, is not really a big concern. Okay, not like it will not be a concern, but it's not really it's not something that other firms will have to be running after skelter for. Okay, now when you look at a monopoly is the only one. So what strategic decision should be made? Okay, but so that's why where it is important, where game theory is important is when you're talking about polycopoly. Okay, so that's why I just trying to highlight some things there so that I will remember what I want to say. Okay, now when do we use iterated elimination of strictly dominated strategies? In what situation do we use this particular method of solving the game? Alright, so it is when the player is more than two strategies. Okay, more than two strategies. Okay, you don't do this if you have two players and they have two strategies. So that one is simple. That's the most fundamental. I think that's one of the most fundamental forms of presenting the game, especially when you're talking about presenting it in a normal form, You can present a game like a tree. You can present it in a matrix form, so that we got the normal form game. The one of a tree is the extensive form game. Alright. We use iterated elimination of strictly dominated strategies when the players involved have more than two strategies. Okay, it could be 3, it could be 4, or whatever. Now from there, we then move to dominated and dominant strategy. So what is a dominant strategy? This is not what we're talking about, but let me just talk about it because somehow this might be someone's first video on game theory. Alright, so let's just talk about this next. Now, dominant strategy is a strategy that a player plays, alright, regardless of what the opponent plays, regardless of what the other person plays. Okay, so and why is that the case? It's simply the case because this strategy is a strategy that gives this person or this party the best payoff possible. So when I'm talking about payoff, I'm talking about rewards. So what you have in this, you have 4 cells here. 1, 2, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4. Cell 4. So in each of them, you have payoffs to each of the players based on whatever decision that they take in accordance with what the decision that the other person also takes, like the other party also takes. Okay, now I'm going to show you an example of a dominant strategy. Now, a dominated strategy, okay, is the strategy that a player will not play because it does not yield the best payoff possible. Alright, regardless of what regardless of the strategies that the other player plays. Okay, so it's just the reverse of what a dominant strategy is. So for a dominant strategy, now let me give you an example. Okay, the example of a dominant strategy. So here we have 2 people. We have Bengal and Matilda. Okay, so Matilda has 2 strategies, which is So play up or to play down, those are strategies. And Bengal has two strategies as well, which is to play right or to play left. Okay, if you've not seen game theory before, this is a fundamental form of game theory. So whatever numbers you have first is the payoff that belongs to whoever or whatever party is on this axis. So here, Bengal's payoff, Bengal's strategy is right and left. So this is going to be for Bengal. This is Bengal, Matilda, Bengal, Matilda, Bengal, Matilda, Bengal, Bengal, Matilda. Alright, so for Bengal, if he plays right, okay, I said this is Bengal, Matilda, this is Bengal, Matilda. So you have 3, 2 for Bengal as his payoff. Alright, if he decides to play left, you have 5, right? Bengal, Matilda, Bengal, Matilda. You have -4. Alright, so if he decides to play right, this is the payoff. If he decides to play left, this is his payoff. These are his payoffs. Alright, so you now compare. If he plays right, so if he plays right, while Matilda plays up, alright, so his payoff is 3. If he plays right, while Matilda plays down, right? Okay, Bengal, Matilda. Okay, yes, if he plays right. Wait, Bengal, Matilda. Okay, Bengal, Matilda, Bengal, Matilda. So this is -6. Bengal, Matilda, and okay, I'm sorry for that. So if Bengal plays right and Matilda plays up, Bengal has payoff of 3. If Bengal plays right and Matilda plays down, Bengal has a payoff of -6. If Bengal plays left and Matilda plays up, alright, Bengal's payoff is 5 here. Now if Bengal plays left, right, and Matilda plays down, Bengal's payoff is -4. So these are his payoffs for left. These are his payoffs for playing right. So you compare the payoffs of the two strategies. So 3 is not as good as 5, and -5 is a worse payoff compared to -4. Okay, if you have -4/10 on your script and you have -6/10 on your scripts, at least there are 2 evils, right? But you choose the lesser evil. So -4 is better on your scripts over 10 compared to -6/10. Okay. So here, if Bengal goes left, right? So he has a payoff of 5, that is better than 3. He also has a payoff of -4, that is better than -6. Okay? So if he decides to play the left strategy all through, his payoffs are 5 against 3. His payoffs are then -4 against 6. Alright, so 5 is better than 3. -4 is better than -6. So we say that this strategy, Bengal playing left, so left is the dominant strategy. So playing left is Bengal's dominant strategy, and this strategy strictly dominates playing right. So when I say strictly, I'm talking about completely dominates playing right. Okay, strictly dominates playing right. So that's it. So this is Bengal's dominant strategy. Whatever Matilda does, Bengal should go left. So that's the meaning. Okay, and this strategy strictly dominates Bengal playing right. Why? It is better 5 better than 3, -4 better than -6. So that's it. Now, how about Matilda? In Matilda, so these are Matilda's strategies up and down. So if Matilda goes up, while Bengal goes right, so Matilda's payoff, I said this is Bengal, Matilda, right? So Matilda's payoff is 2. If Matilda goes up and Bengal goes left, okay, and Matilda's payoff is 8. Here, if Matilda goes down and Bengal goes right, so you have 2. If Matilda goes down and Bengal goes left, you have Bengal, Matilda, you have 10. So Matilda also has 2 strategies, which is to go up or to go down. So what you are going to do is you compare up, the payoffs in up, against the payoffs in down. Alright, so if you look at it here, 2 is as good as 2, right? It's the same thing, but 8 is not as good as 10. Alright, so if we compare down against up now, 2 is as good as 2, right? But 10 is better than 8. So in this particular case, there is no dominant strategy. Okay, so there's no strategy that strictly dominates the other one. So playing down, going down is the better strategy, kind of, right? So playing up, alright, so going up. So in this particular case, we say that down is a little bit better than playing up. Not that it's entirely better, right? Because it has 2 that is equal to 2 here. Alright, so in this particular situation, we say that strategy going down as a strategy is going as a strategy weakly dominates going up as a strategy, right? So this strategy has a weak domination over this particular strategy. Okay, so down weekly dominates. Weekly is not strong. So I don't mean weekly, monthly, annually, or something like that. So weekly, okay. So it dominates the up strategy weekly. Alright, so it's not that strong. But here it's very strong. So that's why I call it a strict domination. So iterated elimination of strictly dominant strategy. Iterated elimination is basically the elimination of strictly dominated strategies. So it's not about it's not about eliminating the ones that are weakly dominating. There are strategies that are weakly dominating over other strategies. So so with that, I've explained this guy. Alright, and I've explained this question too. This particular one. Now, examples of iterated elimination. Examples of iterated elimination. So here we have two players. We have Dorcas and we have Eniola. Actually, these are two guys, two ladies, beautiful ladies, and smart on their own school of economics this particular year. So they are in their second year. The same thing is Bengal and Matilda, two fine people. The same thing over there as well, Suzanne and Anat. Okay, I just like using as students' names, So we have Eniola and Dorcas. They both have 3 strategies. Now, it's not a must that they have equal number of strategies too, so I think I should check that in. So Eniola can either go or play middle or play down. Dorcas can play left, she can play center, and she can play right. So what we are looking for here now, so the payoffs for Eniola, if Eniola goes up, this is Eniola, Dorcas, Eniola, Dorcas, Eniola, Dorcas. So if Eniola decides to go up, you have 13 for Eniola here. If Eniola goes up and Dorcas goes left, 13, Eniola's square is 13. If Eniola goes still up and Dorcas plays center, Eniola's square is 1. If Eniola goes up and Dorcas plays right, Eniola's square is 7. So on and on like that. Now how about Dorcas? It's just an extension of this. Dorcas is left, center, right. Okay? So Eniola, Dorcas, Eniola, Dorcas, Eniola, Dorcas. So these are the payoffs for Dorcas. 3, 1, 9. For going left, when Eniola decides to play up, you do down. Okay? So if Dorcas goes left and Eniola goes up, Dorcas square is 3. If Dorcas goes left, this is still left, and Eniola plays the middle strategy, Dorcas square is 1. If Dorcas goes left and Eniola decides to go down, so you have Dorcas payoff as 9. So you are comparing 3, 1, 9 against 4, 3, 8 against 3, 2, 1. 3, 2 minus 1 for Dorcas. Whereas we're comparing 13, 1, 7 against 4, 3, 6 against minus 1, 2, and 8 for Eniola. Okay, so here I need to chip in something. If there is a game that has dominated strategies, now it doesn't matter who goes first. Okay, it doesn't matter who goes first, your final answer is going to be the same thing. Okay, like if there is a game that has strictly dominating strategies now, strictly dominating strategies, it doesn't matter who goes first, right? It doesn't matter who goes first, we are going to have the same answer. Now, if your game has weekly dominating strategies, it does matter whoever goes first because your answer is likely not going to be the same thing. So if there is the strategies here are weekly dominating each other, if we decide to play Eniola first, the final answer that we are going to get is likely going to be the same thing if we play Dorcas first. So that's what I'm trying to say. But if the strategies are strictly dominating, whether Dorcas goes first or Eniola goes first, they are going to be having the same answer. So that's important. Now, if let's check, these are Eniola's what do you call it? So for 13, 1, so we compare. 13 is better than 4, right? 1 is not as good as 3. 7, although 7 is better than 6, 1 is not as good as 3. So here, there is no strict domination, there is no weak domination. So we compare this 13 against minus 1, 13 is better than minus 1. 1 is not as good as 2, so we can't even compare those two. Here, let's compare middle against down. 4 is better than minus 1, 3 is better than 2, 6 is better than 8. Alright, so that means Eniola playing with the middle card is the payoffs are strictly dominating down, which means it is a terrible thing for Eniola to play down at all. You understand? Because there's another strategy that is better than playing down completely. So Eniola will not play down. So what we do there is we are going to erase this strategy. We are going to erase it. So because Eniola is not going to play it at all, so we take it away. Why? Because there's another strategy that strictly dominates it. Okay, so that is the iteration that we are talking about. Now let's look at it. We still have 13 against 4, 1 against, so we can't compare all of this now. So the next thing we do is we try for Dorcas now, right? So we try for Dorcas to see if out of the remaining payoffs and strategies, there is one that strictly dominates the other one. So for Dorcas, 3 is not as good as 4, 1 is not as, so 4 here, playing center, 4 here is better than 3, and 3 here is better than 1. So Dorcas will not play left. Dorcas will not play left, right? So let's compare here. For Dorcas again, 4 here is better than 3, right? 3 here is better than 2. So which is saying that Dorcas will also not play right at all, because there is a strategy which is playing center that strictly dominates our playing left or playing right. So we are left with 2 payoffs. So and the payoff is Dorcas should play center. Okay, now Eniola can still play between up or middle. Okay, she can choose to have a strategy, but now she has to choose the one that gives her the better payoff. And if you look at it, 3, this is for Eniola, 3 here is better than 1. 3 for Eniola here is better than 1, which means Eniola will not play center. She will not play center. Okay, 3 here is better than 1, exactly. Yeah, up against middle. So 3 for her is better than this. So all of the rest here, 4 and 3 here is just center. So Dorcas is left with just one strategy, and Eniola still has 2. She has to compare. And now that middle has shown that it is strictly better than center. Okay, so this is our final. This is our Nash equilibrium for this particular game. So the Nash equilibrium is where Eniola plays middle and Dorcas plays center. There's another example on the board before your assignment, so for you to understand more and more. Now, another thing that you should note is that sometimes your answer may not just be one like this. Sometimes your answer, after cutting some stuff, your answer may end up something like this, mean something like this. So you then apply the normal way of calculating your Nash equilibrium to a game like this, a game with payoffs like this. So, okay, let me say I'm looking for a Nash equilibrium in this game, for example. That's if there's a Nash equilibrium anyway. So if Bengal plays right, these are the players for Bengal, 3 and minuses. He has already played right. So what is Matilda going to choose? Matilda has to choose a bigger payoff. So you have 2 and 2. So how do we know what Matilda is going to choose? So let me just change the payoff a little bit. So let me change this one to 3, for example. Okay. Now, if Bengal plays right, you don't bother yourself about Bengal's payoff. See, it's 3 Bengal, you don't bother yourself. So when you look at it, what is Matilda going to choose? Matilda has a choice between 3 and 2. Of course, this is a good thing. Matilda chooses 3. 3 is better. Except you are talking about number of years in the prison. 2 would have been better in that case. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, if Bengal decides to play left, he has already played left, right? So you don't bother about his payoff for left. So you are now looking at what will Matilda do. 10 is better than 8, so you pick 10 for Matilda. So Bengal has gone first. Now we've chosen what Matilda is going to do. Now Matilda is going first. If Matilda should play all, these are our payoffs 2 and 8. So what will Bengal do? Bengal will play 5 because 5 is better than 3. Okay? Now if Matilda should play down here, what will Bengal do? Bengal will choose -4 because -4 is better than -6. So in this case, this would be your Nash equilibrium. So I'm just telling you beforehand that you could solve by iteration, and you'll be having a game like this. Instead of having just one outstanding payoff, you'll be having a game like this. So just apply your normal understanding of Nash equilibrium to deal with it. Okay, here we have Anat and Suzanne. They have 4 different strategies, right? Strategy 1, 2, 3, 4, which is dope. So what are we going to do? Whether we decide to, should this game have a strictly dominating strategy, otherwise known as a dominant strategy, it would matter who is going first, whether Suzanne or Hannah. Okay, so here, this is Suzanne's scale of 40, 90, 20, 55. If you decide to play strategy 1, and 30, 85, 100, 10. If you decide to play strategy 2, 38, 75, 44, 40. If you decide to play strategy 3, 20, 85, 155, 33. If you decide to play strategy 4. How about for Hannah? This is Suzanne Hannah. So for Hannah, you have 20, 25, 55, 98. If you decide to play strategy 1, regardless of whatever this person is like, in accordance with whatever this person is playing. Then for if it's placed strategy 2, you have 355, 65, 200. If it's placed strategy 3, 150, 60, 195. If it's placed strategy 4, 22, 10, 60, 185. So those are the pairs for Hannah. So now let's try to see if there is for Suzanne. Alright, let's try comparing the pairs for strategies. 40 is better than 30, 90 is better than 85. Is this 20? 20 is not as good as 100. Although 55 is better than 10. I don't think this guy is 20. I think that guy is supposed to be 200. Oh yeah, right. 20, 20, 20. How come here? It's supposed to be 200. So here you have 200. So 200 is better than, so let's go again. 40 is better than 30. 90 is better than 85. 200 is better than 100. 55 is better than 10. So Suzanne will not play this. And because she's not going to play this, we rule it out. That strategy is inferior to a better strategy. Now let's compare 1 against 3. 40 better than 38, 90 better than 75, 200 better than 44, 55 better than, she will not play this one too. Alright, then let's compare against this. 40 better than 20, 90 better than 85, 200 is better than 155, 55. In fact, you will also not play this. So, strategy 1 is a fantastic strategy because it strictly dominates every other strategy. So, Suzanne is only going to play strategy 1. Now, what is Hannah going to play? So, the other thing has been reduced, so the work is now easier to do. If you look at it, for strategy 1, payoff is 20, then 300, 100, 20 here. For strategy 2, 300, strategy 3, 100, strategy 4, 22. So which one is the highest? 300 is better than 20. So she won't play strategy 1. 300 is better than 100. She won't play strategy 3. 300 is better than 22. She won't play strategy 4. So our Nash equilibrium is here. So Nash equilibrium is where Hannah plays strategy 2 and Suzanne plays strategy 1. So that's Nash equilibrium. Okay, so the first assignment I'm going to give you is for you to, we did for Suzanne first. So we compare Suzanne's strategies and eliminated 3. So what you are going to do is you are going to compare Hannah's strategy. Okay, you make Hannah go first for this particular question and see if you are similar to her as a matter. Please don't manipulate it. Okay, don't manipulate it because if you manipulate it and I give you a classwork or an assignment or maybe one of the exams, you see this kind of question and you feel. So if you don't know it, then it's going to show by then that you don't understand this stuff. So that's what iterated elimination of strictly domination strategies is all about. So if you have any questions, please ask them. The comment section is there, and for the student register with us, so you know where to ask me, right? So just come on WhatsApp and what have you. If you're a student that is interested in more of the activities that we do, we are in school, MOT School of Economics, so to help undergraduate economics students. Alright, so if you want more of our services, you want a platform where you interact with the teachers, with us, you want a platform where you get brainstorming sessions like on a weekly basis, you get further assignments, further explanations, then you get to write exams as well at the end of each month. So the exams are going to be based on the topics that you've covered in that month alone, right? So the test is we send your results, we send you the marking guide that was used, including the allocated marks. So for two things: first, for you to understand the transparency of the system, and second, for you to judge what the answers that are expected of you against the things that you've written. Okay, that helps students to know how to answer questions. So it's a different thing for you to know how to answer questions. It's a different thing for you to know the answer to a question. It's another thing for you to know how to answer questions. So those are the services that we provide, at Zenith School of Economics, and maybe more. Yeah, we should be having more. I don't know when you're going to see this particular video, but we are going to leave our WhatsApp contact link in the description of this video. So if you want someone, just click on that link. Alright, so what's your assignment? I didn't even know this class was going to be that long. Anyway, here you have the assignment. Solve the game below between Darasini Oil Company and Bambuye Oil Company. Competing for a larger market share. All values are in billions of naira. So all payoffs, rather, should be the payoffs. All payoffs are in billions of naira. So you have Darasini Oil, then Bambuye Oil on the other side. So that's the normal form game of. So number one, is there a dominant strategy for both companies? If yes, mention them. Number two, what's the Nash equilibrium if A, Bambuye Oil goes first, and B, Darasini Oil goes first, and C, any difference? So any difference in your answers between A and B. Number three, can either firm deviate from its dominant strategy? 5. Can either firm deviate from its dominant strategy? What? So there you go. See you when I see you.